All right, hello. So sorry, so many moving pieces. Um, Hi, we are back with the Portland Supply live stream. We are on day 2 of the event, and I am here with our event co-sponsors from Prosper Portland. Um, and yeah, I think we're going to have a couple of different people talking about a couple of different things. This is, again, for those of you just joining us, Portland Supply is a 4-day ongoing event, part of the Open on Candid series of online trade shows. And Prosper Portland has been a huge part of putting this together. And yeah, I will get out of the way and let Tori take it away.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you opening this up. Today is a special day. Really, these next couple of days already kicked off with yesterday as a chance for us as a city to continue to provide focused attention on helping businesses pivot during this pandemic and really making the necessary efforts to work and come alongside you as you navigate really unprecedented waters that we're experiencing, both personally from a health standpoint, but even just economically with respects to small businesses. I think the thing that stands out for the work that you hear more from my colleagues, Sue and Amanda, is just really the desire to make sure that as the economic development agency in the city is that we are responsive and that we are just as nimble as the businesses that we are serving. And as you know that oftentimes they say first to market is the one that tends to win, or the best product that is brought to market. Obviously, it follows just along suit. We really feel like this work of creating a virtual platform to help businesses navigate and get into new markets has a unique way in this moment of not only continuing on your journey as a small business, but also has a way, I think, to provide a fresh lens around equity as it really democratizes just the access to something that would historically have cost associated with it. Now, because it's virtual, although it's not perfect, there is a way that an individual can roll out of their bed, consider what their business is trying to pursue, and join something like the Portland Supply, both to get the knowledge as well as the access and the wraparound support to do it. So we are very excited to be a part of this and believe it has a chance to help stave off just the cliff that many businesses are experiencing with tremendous drop off in terms of sales, with an opportunity to expand into new markets and to grow not only their business share, but also just grow the overall sense of how we can do this as a city in terms of smartly supporting businesses. So happy to be a part of it. And I want to pass it over to Sue and Amanda and let them tell you more specifically around the initiatives and programs that they're leading that really has driven the overall design and the way in which Prosper Portland is showing up and participating with this week's event, the Portland Supply. Thank you for having us.
All right, Amanda. Oh, yep, looks like you're unmuted.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to share with you all about Mercatus and My People's Market. And I thought the best way to talk about My People's Market is to share with you all a little video that we do. For every market, we put together a little bit. And this is from our last market. So if you want to share my screen, or I've got it queued up on my side.
Yeah, I believe you just need to share screen, and okay. I don't know if you've done this before, but there's a share computer audio setting that you'll need to hit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've got you pinned.
Thought this was going to be easier than it is.
It never is.
Well, let's see. Let's do this one. Cancel, actually. Yes. Maybe I can I send you the link and then you just pull it up?
Yeah, and I can do that.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
Copy, and then I'll just message you.
Perfect.
Okay, so My People's Market started maybe 3 years ago in partnership with Travel Portland, and it was a way that, well, we hoped it would be a way to connect entrepreneurs of color in Portland to business opportunities, specifically within the tourism industry and potentially go beyond that. So Travel Portland very early on recognized that this was a great opportunity, and so we launched the first My People's Market at the Red before it was fancy. So this is when there were holes in the ceiling, the roof, like it was a rainy day. So we had plants strategically placed under the leaky roof. But it also kind of added to the rustic atmosphere. And it was great. And it was an event that I don't think Portland has seen before. We had community show up and vendors were there, and the feeling in the room was just really one of like support and excitement and a sense of like belonging and welcomeness, and it was magical. And so we didn't know after the first one what was going to happen, but after that we quickly decided, okay, we have to do this again, and maybe we're not going to do it once a year, but let's just do it twice a year. And so we did. It's just kind of like grown from there. The first market we had about maybe 50 vendors or so, and now typically every market we have 90 businesses participate, and very often a wait list to get into the market. We work very closely with a community organization, YGB. It's Young, Gifted, Black, and Brown, and they work with local artists and performers. It's a two-person team. They curate all the music and artists for each event, and we invest pretty heavily in making sure that our performers are paid appropriately, and that we bring not just the businesses, but we also bring our community and that culture into each event. What's also been fantastic is it's met a lot of our goals. So like I mentioned, we initially launched this as an opportunity to connect businesses to opportunities within the tourism industry, and that's happened. Plenty of the vendors that participate have connected with different hoteliers in the Portland area and got their products in gift shops and whatnot, as well as other retailers that have just come out to the event. So Tender Loving Empire is a great partner of ours. We're actually currently doing a gift box promo with them that's gone really well. We're excited to do that again. New Seasons has come on, and they love being a partner because one, they get to meet new businesses that maybe they otherwise wouldn't hear about, and those businesses have an opportunity to sell on the New Seasons shelves. But also they get to build relationship with folks in the community and with the vendors. So it goes beyond than just a business transaction, which is really special. So we continue to look for opportunities to do that. Yeah, and so let's actually go to the video. It's just a quick video, but you get a sense of what the vibe is, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Let me press play.
Everyone here knows that they're a powerhouse. Woo! And you're like ready for the world to just like embrace that and love every single bit of that, right? And so that's what we're doing by coming together and being community together.
Great. So you can kind of see the markets, it's really almost like a festival, and the vendors that participate have really built community in connecting with each other outside of the event and showing up and doing different collaborations, which probably otherwise wouldn't have happened. Now, My People's Market is an event, right? So it happens once, maybe twice a year. And there's a lot of time in between those events that we want to make sure we're supporting businesses. So Mercatus is a great companion to that. All the vendors that participate in My People's Market are also businesses listed on a Mercatus directory. And so Mercatus is a business directory and a storytelling platform that elevates entrepreneurs of color. Currently, we have right around 700 businesses listed, and we share anywhere from 10 to 15 news stories on our Story Collective every year. And what's great is that makes those vendors that are participating in My People's Market and more businesses easy to find in between time. So there's always a way to connect with entrepreneurs of color and find new business connections. The directory has recently gotten a lot of positive attention through social media, and I think the businesses are feeling the effects of that, which is really exciting. And it's free for folks to join. It takes maybe 5-10 minutes to fill out the profile. We try to get people added to the directory within a week at most. And yeah, then you're listed and you can share that. What also is awesome is that folks that don't have a website or maybe don't have a really strong digital footprint, once they're listed on the directory, that directory profile is searchable. So if somebody goes to find your business online and they cannot find, like you don't have anything on there, the Mercatus profile will show up. So you sort of have an inroad into building your digital footprint. And like I mentioned, it's free to join and it's pretty quick, simple. We're here to help if you need support and happy to answer any questions.
That's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Let's see who's next. Sue, do you want to jump in? I will give you the mic. All right.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Tori, and thank you, Amanda, for being here and kind of, talking to us a little bit about like the different components of the economic development work that Prosper Portland does. I think like Amanda is on sort of the entrepreneurship and community development team, and I'm on the business and industry team, and we don't get so many opportunities to work together, but this is one of those areas where I feel like we're able to come together and really support businesses big and small. And so I'm just really excited to have this kickoff and today be the presentations day, and the presentations have all gone really well. I am the athletic and outdoor industry liaison for Prosper Portland. So I work under Tori in the economic development department. And basically my work revolves around helping the industry to grow and helping companies to become more inclusive as well as to grow and become more competitive. So I have some slides. I was hesitant to share them because compared to Tori and Amanda's like cool presentations, they're so dorky, but I will. So let me see. Do it. It's not showing up. Oh wait, yeah. It doesn't look like it's showing up for me, Dave. So I don't know.
Okay, I have the deck here if you want me to be the driver.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how that. I guess I don't know how it works.
Yeah, no, it's all good. There's a lot to this. Let me set up my screen share real quick. Oh man. One moment. Let's do slide only. Yeah, we're just going to do it like this. I think it's going to be a less immersive full screen experience, but it's going to be just fine. Okay. I will share the deck. One moment. Here we go. Is that showing up for folks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wanted to just do like a more of a formal presentation, just because I think like, a lot of times I'm working with companies one-on-one and they don't get like a full understanding of what the whole sort of depth and breadth of my work would include as the athletic and outdoor liaison. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what that even means in terms of what the industry is, what it comprises of, and how we work with them. So next slide.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
All right, so next slide. Nope. We'll get there. Sorry, everyone.
We have an hour, so this is.
Here we go. Is this working? Is this sharing?
Yeah, but now you can see like the.
Oh. Okay, here. Let me press the go button. I'm learning so much here. Nope. All right. Sorry. Let's close that one more time. Let's try. This will be fine. I will just show the navigator, and that will be that. All right, so slide number 2.
Okay. So yeah, you know, as Tori mentioned, we work a lot with businesses. Prosper Portland, you know, it's basically focused on a couple of things: priority neighborhoods, targeted industry clusters, workforce, and inclusive entrepreneurship. And then next slide. And so athletic and outdoor is one of the 4 key industry clusters that we focus on. And the reason we choose to focus on these industry in particular is that they're traded sector industries. So that means that they bring in revenue from outside the state. We have an existing concentration of firms and talent to build on. And then Portland has compelling competitive advantages for each of these industries that can potentially attract new companies as well. Next slide. So we kind of define athletic and outdoor. The definition of this has definitely grown over the years, but it's footwear, apparel, equipment, bike, accessories, and gear companies, plus their suppliers and service providers. So in recent years, that also has started to include designers and makers of locally crafted or handmade products, so fashion apparel, jewelry, and other consumer goods, since they also benefit from the work that we do, and they also take advantage of the same sorts of suppliers and service providers as well. So they're part of the ecosystem, even though it might not overtly be something that you think of when you hear the term athletic and outdoor. Next slide. Mm-hmm. And so this is just kind of gives an overview of, you know, what's included. Like I mentioned, you know, there's footwear and apparel, there's also bikes and gear, knives and tools, fashion accessories, the artisans and makers, and then suppliers, as well as a lot of the service providers to the industry. Next slide. So I just wanted to further illustrate what we talk about when we talk about this industry. You know, you've got at the top, you've got your anchors, which are the largest employers in this industry. So you have Nike, Adidas, and Columbia. That's where the majority of people that are working in the industry work in. But then you also have your medium-sized global brands. So these are really well-known brands, and they have a presence internationally and nationally. But a lot of them might still have fewer than 100 employees or 200 employees. So they're not, you know, thousands of employees, but they do make a big splash in terms of name recognition and brand. And then underneath that, you've got the largest component of the industry, and the one that myself and Amanda and others at Prosper generally tend to work with a lot more hands-on, is the small businesses. So that's 96% of this industry. And it includes a broad variety of products, as I mentioned before. And a lot of the founders of these companies have had experience at one of the big 3. So there'll be people who've left Nike or Adidas and Columbia and started their own thing, started their own product companies. And then at the bottom, you've got the bedrock of the industry, which is really the suppliers and service providers who work specifically within the athletic and outdoor industry to provide tailored services. So next slide. So why is this all happening in Portland is, you know, kind of a question we get. Like I mentioned, there's the industry pioneers that really have the bulk of the talent here. So Nike, Adidas, Columbia, as well as Pendleton. We have that because of those companies and the amount of people that work here. We have a reputation for talent and design and innovation here in Portland. And then our global connections for air, cargo, and marine services to cities worldwide, as well as direct flights to international locations through PDX. Our year-round recreational opportunities. So within 60 minutes of Portland, there's just, you know, skiing, windsurfing, surfing, biking, hiking, anything you can think of. So that really lends itself to sort of the innovation here in Portland. And then, sorry, I was getting some feedback. And then, so then we also have early adopters here. So people who are willing to try and test new products and provide feedback. Often these people work in the industry as well. So we have a constant feedback loop fueling innovation in the industry. Next slide. So yeah, this slide's maybe like 2 or 3 years old, so it doesn't necessarily include any COVID impacts that we faced. But you know, the industry has really grown over the last 10 years. We've got over 800 companies statewide, over 20,000 jobs, and we've seen employment and firms growing pretty well across the state. Next slide. So what areas do we focus on to support the industry? We really create initiatives and programming that are based on the unique strengths and needs of the industry. So any of the programs or events that I would either help coordinate or support would really help to advance education, entrepreneurship, diversity and equity, as well as statewide coordination and branding. And those are the things that I look at when I'm thinking about, what is this a program or is this an event that I want to take on? How's it going to fit into one of those strategic focuses? Next slide. So then some of the ways that we help advance those areas of focus are through the initiatives that are either run through Prosper Portland or are in partnership with regional or statewide organizations. So aoportland.com is one, is something that we run, and that's really the website that's sort of meant to be like the hub of the industry. So you can go there and there's a jobs board there. You can learn about events. If you are a company and you want to post an event or a job, that's open to you as well. And it's just, you know, we put a newsletter out through that. So it's really meant to be sort of that online hub for the industry. There's a couple of other programs on here, the Inspiring Diversity Grant, the Level Up program. You can learn about all of those on our site as well. The Athletic and Outdoor Professionals group is AOP, is another group that really seeks to sort of connect talent with the industry. So we do a lot of events through AOP. You'll see we've got an Instagram handle for them as well. You can follow to learn about events through AOP, as well as other things that we're doing through the Athletic and Outdoor platform. But we really miss our events. We obviously can't have any right now, but we do put on about 2 or 3 events a year in partnership with different organizations. And we do an annual event every year as well. So that really is meant to highlight the trends and people and leaders in the industry and bring everyone together under one roof. We also sponsor and partner with different organizations. So Sneaker Week, Sustainable Fashion Forum, Sport Oregon, to work with them to bring to life events and things that would align with some of our focus areas. And then our trade shows, which is what we're here for today. You know, in the past, we've done a lot of work. You can actually skip to the slide 11, if you would, or 12, sorry. Slide 12. Yeah, so in the past, we've done shows in coordination with Business Oregon. We've gone to ISPO, we've gone to New Heritage in Dusseldorf, the outdoor show in Germany as well. And we do the trade shows primarily to focus on helping smaller and medium-sized brands find new markets, because we know that that's going to bring in more money into the economy and help those companies grow and employ more people. So, you know, as of 2018, I sort of started dipping a toe into the water of sort of domestic trade shows like New York Now and Shop Object. We were able to have smaller booths there with 5 or 6 companies at a time. And we really saw the impact that had on companies, whether the companies that went, whether it was they were able to, you know, give up their day job and focus exclusively on their business, or hire a new person to fulfill orders, or, you know, realize that there is a market for them in New York and not just in Portland. So, you know, being able to see that is kind of why it was very heartbreaking to know that we wouldn't have trade shows this year. And so I'm really grateful that we were able to put together this online virtual trade show with Candid. And, you know, got the support of the United States Commercial Service and Mercatus and Portland Made in helping us curate this and get services to companies. Yeah, we're really thrilled to have this as a way to connect even more brands with buyers and showcase the tremendous talent and diversity that we have in Portland. Right now, it's not necessarily in the news known for that, but I think, you know, we have so much to show for our city in terms of the people that are working here and the impact that they have. So yeah, if the next slide, please. So yeah, like I said, if you want to learn more, you can go to aoportland.com, or my contact information is there as well if you have questions on any of the programs that I mentioned earlier.
Awesome. Thank you, Sue. I will say I'm not only a user here, I'm also a client. We did a lot of communicating back and forth, getting this trade show off the ground. And I will say, just from an organizational standpoint, you guys are a delight to work with, which is rarely the case in this type of work. So that's worth noting.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you. Are there questions? Do we have Q&A, or I don't know?
Let's see.
No.
I'm not seeing any particularly. We had a few on the Facebook thread, but we answered those. Yeah, the big one is just where is the event right now? It is at, if you click on the link, you'll see it. It's portland-supply.openoncandid.com is where it's happening right now and for the next 3 days, including today.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for doing this, and thank you, Dave, for being an awesome VJ for today's programming and tomorrow's. You're like a nap.
My pleasure. Yeah, this has been really fun. So yeah, up next on the roster, I believe we've got a discussion with Kelly from the United States Commercial Service at 3 o'clock today, and then lots more tomorrow, and concluding with some Instagram Live events on Friday. So the show goes 24/7, but there's only really people here during business hours. So yeah, thanks again to everybody. This has been delightful. We will see you all later.
Later.